All right, so if you guys can just kind of come onto the back body, or you can stay seated, whatever you prefer. Beads. Something funny under the mat. There are toys everywhere that you can't see in the peripheral here. I mean, it's quite crazy, actually. All right, so just come onto the back body and get into a comfortable position. Get into a comfortable position, whatever works for you. Maybe elevate the legs just a little bit, or you can have a pillow underneath the head. And let's just begin our practice with our breath, just focusing on our breath. Nice big inhalation through the nose. Just let it move into the body, move into every place into the body, and just really melt into the mat on your exhalation. Just let go. A couple times just like that. Just a big breath in. Let it move into the fingers, toes. Just melt into the mat as you exhale. Really notice the quality of your breath. Notice the length of your breath. See if we can pull a little bit more air in. Just a little bit more air in. Nice and full into the chest, nice and full into the belly. Lips remain sealed, and just let the breath even slower than you exhale or inhaled go through the nose and exhale. Nice slow exhalation. So just a few breaths like that. Just notice the inhalation. See if you can have a nice long inhalation. And then even longer with the exhalation. Just push every little drop of air out. And begin to find some movement in the wrists and in the ankles. Just roll them. Oh, nice big stretch. Nice, nice, nice big stretch. Oh, nice big reach. And then just let the arms come up and float down by the sides of the body. And then go ahead and just let the knees make their way from side to side. Let the knees make their way from side to side. Just kind of begin to warm things up a little bit. You can walk the feet apart if that feels good. Just kind of let one knee at a time just melt down. And then pause, just let the knees lift and walk the feet back in towards one another and just pull the knees in towards the chest. Just give yourself a nice big hug and kind of make a couple of small circles on the low back. And change the direction of the circle, just a very gentle little massage on the low back. Very nice. And just lift up with the chin for a moment. Just lift up with the head, I should say. Kind of tuck the chin in. Just see if the forehead can almost kiss the knees. And then go ahead and just bring the head back down to the earth. And lift the feet up towards the sky. Lift the feet up and then just gently pedal the feet. Just one at a time. Just remember to keep breathing here. Just begin to feel those calves open up. And then go ahead, bend the knees. Just pull the knees back and towards the chest again. Open up the arms out to a T. Let the knees fall over towards the right. Let the knees fall over towards the right. And then let the gaze kind of become dynamic. Begin to move the gaze from the right over to the left and then back to the right, just very gently kind of getting that neck moving a little bit. Couple times, just a very gentle stretch into the neck as we do our twist. If it doesn't feel good on the neck, you can just stay still with it. And then just let the gaze fall over towards the left and just pause here. Take one nice big breath in. Stay here for the exhalation. Really melt with that left shoulder into the mat. Just wring everything out. And then big breath in. Let the knees make their way through center. Kind of rock back and forth a little bit. Lengthen out through the spine. And then let the knees fall over towards the left. The right shoulder become nice and heavy. Again, let the gaze kind of make its way back and forth. Back and forth. And then eventually just let the gaze fall over towards the right. Let that right shoulder get heavy. Just nice big breath in. Exhale, wring everything out. Just envision that spine twisting and letting go. And then we'll breathe the knees up through center. Rock them out just a little bit. Rock it out, lengthen through the spine, lift the feet up. Once again, just pedal the feet. Move with the breath. And then take a nice bend into the knees. Happy baby pose. Peace fingers can grasp onto the toes or the feet or maybe just the outsides of the thighs, whatever works for you. Let the shoulders be nice and heavy. Just breathe. Still feel really long through the spine here. Notice that the head's kind of kinked, and if it is, lengthen through the back of the neck. Pull the chin in a little bit, and then we'll pull the feet in. Just bring the hands down the back of the legs. Your choice. Either rock up to a seated position, or you can come over to the side body and push your way up. Just go gently on the body this morning. See what feels right for you. And then come up to a nice seated position when you're ready. Hello, Petey. Nice seated position. And let's just go ahead, just begin moving the shoulders here. Roll the shoulders up and back. Up and back a few times. Change the directions. Hello, Larry. Up and back. And then just go ahead, just let the shoulders melt down. Let the right ear fall over towards the right shoulder. Just take a couple of nice big nods here with the head. Nice big nods. And get the neck feeling good. And then just pause. Really let that shoulder drop down, the left shoulder, and bring the left hand over. And then walk the left hand back a little bit and kind of push that shoulder back. See if you can kind of begin to isolate a nice stretch right there through that left hand side of the neck. You can even pull a little bit more if it feels good. And then just gently bring it back and let's roll that neck forward. Roll it forward, a couple little half moons, roll it out. Roll it on out. Roll it all the way around if that feels good. All the way around if it feels good. And then go ahead, just sit up nice and tall. Let's take a forward fold. Take a forward fold, let go. Let the head go. Keep the legs kind of loose here in this Sukhasana. So not necessarily, don't have to be like that tight style of sitting, but just a nice loose leg so that one leg is in front of the other. Let the head go. You should begin to feel a little bit of a hip opener, kind of like you would in your pigeon pose. Really let the head completely go. Really lengthen through the spine here. And walk it back up. Go ahead and walk it back up, and let's change the cross of the legs. Go ahead and change the cross of the legs and begin to roll the shoulders forward this time. So roll the shoulders forward and really kind of exaggerate it a little bit. So almost like we're doing our cat-cows. Kind of pull the shoulder blades back together and then round forward and pull the belly in, round completely forward with the chest. And then same thing, kind of pull back and round forward. Oh, one more time. Just let it go. And let's go ahead. Let's drop that left ear over towards the left shoulder to begin with. Just drop it over. And then drop the left hand down. Excuse me, the right hand. And kind of walk that right hand back a little bit. Push that right shoulder back a little bit. If you want it even more, go ahead and grasp onto the head. Really should feel that nice stretch through the side of the neck here. It's a big stretch, so don't go too crazy. And then go ahead and walk it forward. Just release the head, and we can, again, just circle that neck forward. A few times just forward. If you find just one little sweet spot that you just want to hang out in, maybe just the neck forward completely and stay still, go ahead and do that. Just see what feels good for you right here. Kind of close the eyes and really see what feels good. Maybe take it all the way around. And then go ahead, lift up with the heart, lift up with the chest, loose leg cross here. Exhale, take a forward fold. Take a nice forward fold. Yes, hello, Petey. Let the head completely go. Just let it go. And then walk it back up. So one little fun neck stretch that you can do if you're sitting on a chair. So very similar to what we just did, but like if my mat was the chair and I'm sitting on it, you grab that bottom of the chair when you put the head back, or when you put the head to the side and then you push your shoulder back. It really, it's really gonna give you a serious neck stretch. So fun little tip for anybody that's sitting in a chair and has some neck stuff going on. So let's go ahead, let's make our way up into table pose from here. Just kind of open up the palms, bring those knees underneath the hips. Let's make our way through some cat-cows. Lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, breathe it in. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Really get that breath involved. One more time, nice big lift. And this time on your round, just pause, let the head go, really stay nice and rounded, and just a couple little kind of back and forth movements. So forward and back, head's completely down. See if you can kind of get the movement going a little bit more, a little further forward, a little further back, and then finally just sink all the way back into child's pose. All the way back into your child's pose. Let the head go. Let it completely go. Let's bring the hands back behind us so that the hands, the palms are lifted towards the sky. The back of the hands are on the earth. Roll those shoulders nice and open. Just let the forehead kiss the mat. Take a nice big breath here. Envision it moving into the upper back body. And let go. Just let everything go. Let the shoulders really open up. Just melt with every exhalation. Let's take one more big breath here in our child's pose. Let it go. And then move the hands forward. Move the hands forward. And we can kind of engage the hands into the earth a little bit. Lift the elbows up. And walk the hands all the way over towards the right. But pull that left hip back. So we get a nice stretch through that left side of the body. Nice big stretch. Pull that left hip back. Nice and open. You can bring that left palm on top of the right hand even. Really get in there. One more breath right here. Just exhale. And then on your next breath in, kind of creep the fingers back through center, all the way over towards the left. Oh. Bring that belly and heart on top of the left thigh. Pull the right hip back. Pull the right hip back so we're nice and long through that right-hand side of the body. Maybe bring the right hand on top of the left. Hello, Petey. Okay. And then go ahead, just walk it through center. Walk everything through center. And then just gently let the hands kind of creep forward and transition so that the hips are lifted. The chest is coming down. Kind of transition into your puppy dog pose. Maybe bring the knees in just a tiny little bit if need be. Let the heart melt down towards the earth. Big opener through the upper back body here. Big opener through the heart. And then just keep the elbows right there on the mat and just transition so the belly comes forward. The belly comes forward and just bring the chin down on top of the palms. Nice little resting spot for the chin. Go ahead and lift the feet up and let's just back and forth windshield wiper the feet. Windshield wiper those feet. And then bring the knees, or bring the feet back down, I should say, and just kind of shake the hips out a little bit. Shake the hips out. And then if you have your strap handy, or magically handy, you can have it close by. You don't necessarily have to have it, but it's an option here if you'd like to. So we're going to keep the right foot lifted up and just drop that left foot back down. And kind of bring the left ear just over towards the mat and reach back and grasp onto the top of that right foot. Just give it a nice tug. And if you'd rather use your strap here, if the strap is easier for you to use, then go ahead and use that. Let that be an option as well. That feels better than the hand. So a couple of options. Just go gently though here. Big hamstring opener. And then quadricep. And then go ahead and bring that foot down. Let's change sides. So just let the right ear come over onto the mat. Reach back, grasp onto the top of that left foot. Go ahead, pull it on in. Use your strap if that feels better. And then gently release it. Kind of shake things out a little bit. Shake things out. And then reach back, grasp onto both feet. the back of the top of both feet, if that feels okay. And if it really feels good, go ahead and flex into those feet. Roll the shoulders up and back. Kind of pull the shoulder blades together. Get long through the back of the neck. So gaze right down to the mat. Nice, big, big stretch here. Oh, and then go ahead and just bring it on down. Release the feet. Kind of shake out the hips. Maybe windshield wiper those feet back and forth a little bit. Release the low back. Bring it on down, and let's make our way back up into table. And then your choice, you can either stay right here in table. Table is a perfect option, or you can tuck the toes and make your way into downward facing dog. So if you're going into that down dog, just bend that right knee. Really flex through that left calf and change sides. Some nice stretches here. Walk your dog out. Feel the neck get nice and heavy. Kind of shake it out a little bit. And if you are staying in table this morning, you can kind of do the exact same thing, just keeping a knee down and walk your table out. So your choice, wherever you're at. Down dog just feels exceptional this morning, though, I must say. And if you're treading the knees back and forth, take a nice bend into the right knee and really let the hips sink over towards the right. Just get a nice stretch through that outer left hip. Change sides. Same thing. And then gaze up towards the front of the mat. And we're going to cross one foot in front of another to walk our way up to the front of the mat. To walk our way up to the front of the mat. Oh, or you can just step up forward if that doesn't feel good. Totally up to you, but arrive at the front of the mat in a forward fold. And we're going to begin by crossing actually the right foot in front of the left leg, if that feels okay. So you're going to kind of look at it like your feet are on backwards. So just right foot's in front of the left. Take a forward fold. You can grasp onto opposite elbows if that feels okay, or you can use blocks for stability, or maybe even just kind of put your palms on the waist. Get a nice stretch. You should feel a really nice opener through that left leg here. And then let's go ahead and move back through center and cross the left leg in front of the right. Again, feet kind of look like they're on backwards. Take that forward fold, however it feels good. Touch the opposite toes. Really just kind of feels strange. I like it. And feet. Oh, feet back to normal. Just take a forward fold. You can bend into the knees if that feels good. Just get nice and long through the head. Nice and long through the back body, through the spine. Maybe grasp onto opposite elbows. Little rock back and forth, whatever feels good for you. Maybe even one option, connecting the hands behind the back body and just lift the hands up overhead. Kind of pull those shoulder blades in towards one another, feels good. And then a little bend into the knees. Rise all the way up. If the hands are connected, pull the shoulder blades back and gaze up towards the sky. Pull those shoulders back, open up through the heart, and then release. Go ahead and just release, kind of walk things out a little bit. Oh, roll the shoulders out. Envision a lift coming through the soles of the feet, through the arches of the feet. Just envision that lift rising up all the way through the body, all the way to the crown of the head. Kind of breathe in and really watch it. Close the eyes. Vision that lift coming through the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. Feel the mat underneath the toes, feel it underneath the heels. Just feel really strong standing on your mat here in mountain pose this morning. Blink the eyes open. Go ahead and lift the palms, lift the gaze. Take a nice big inhale. Breathe in and exhale. Let's dive down into our forward fold. Bring the palms to the shins. Nice length through the back body, through the legs. Exhale, fold it out. Little bend, push into the soles of the feet. Rise all the way up. Breathe in. Exhale, palms to heart center. Let's move through it again. Inhale, nice big breath in. Exhale, diving it down, forward fold. Palms to the shins. Lengthen through the back of the legs. Exhale, fold. Just move with the breath. Inhale, rise up all the way up. Little bend into the knees, flat back as we lift. And exhale, palms to heart center. Just stay right here with the hands in heart center for a full breath. Still feel that connection with the feet. Exhale. We're going to add on this time. So lift the palms, lift the gaze as we inhale. Breathe in. Exhale, fold it out. Palms to the shin, lengthen through the back of the legs. Exhale, fold. Take a bend into the left knee. Wrap the left hand around the right shin. And lift up with the right hand. Kind of feel a lift coming through that right hip. You can bend even more if you'd like through that left knee. And then go ahead, float the right hand down. Change sides. So wrap that the right hand around the left ankle. Bend through the right knee. Lift up with the left hand. Really lift with that left hip as well. And then bring the hands down. Heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat, maybe even a little bit further, and grasp onto opposite elbows and take a wide-legged forward fold. Wide-legged forward fold. Walk them apart even further. Even further. You can go sideways on the mat if that feels better for you so that your feet are still on the mat. Totally up to you. And then kind of a similar move. Keep that left hand planted on the earth or your block or whatever prop you might be using, and lift up with the right hand. Make it a stretch through the psoas there a little bit. And float the right hand down, lift up with the left hand. Nice, you guys. Really nice. And float it on down. You can grasp onto opposite elbows again if that feels good, or just keep the hands there on the earth. Just take a forward fold in this wide-legged stance. Let the neck and head get nice and heavy. And then gently heel toe the feet together. Heel toe the feet all the way together. And bring the palms up towards the shins, lengthen through the back of the legs. And exhale, fold, little bend into the knees. Step back with the left foot and just keep the right foot forward. Keep the right foot forward and go ahead. And we're just going to transition up into warrior one here. So square off with the hips. Reach the hands up towards the sky. Reach the hands up. Envision those hips kind of like headlights here. Going forward, nice big breath in, almost like we could pull the mat apart with our feet. So really strong through the feet. Really nice and strong. And then go ahead and bring the hands just down to the hips. Kind of step forward maybe just a little bit and begin to straighten with that right leg. Still square off through the hips, maybe even more. Nice big breath in. So your options for your hands, you can keep them right here on the hips. You could connect them behind the body if you'd like to. You can even, if you're really feeling adventurous, you can bring the hands together in prayer behind the body. Whatever feels good to you this morning. But just exhale and take a forward fold. Or you can bring the hands right down toward the feet. We're gonna forward fold into pyramid pose here. Forward fold into pyramid pose. Let the head go. If you have the hands behind the body, go ahead and bring them forward. Bring them forward all the way down and bring them down onto the earth so we can take a bend into that knee. And then go ahead and just scooch back a little bit with the left foot. Maybe flip the mat. Bring the left knee down onto the earth. Untuck that left foot. Square off through the hip just a little bit. Feels nice. Lift up with the hands. Lift on up with the hands. Breathe it in. Go ahead and float the hands down onto the inside of that right foot. And then just open up a little bit with the right foot if that feels okay. So you can roll onto the outside of the right foot, almost like a pigeon pose here. Kind of a similar movement, getting us nice and open for a pigeon. So if totally optional again, but if it feels good, basically the foot is open like this. So hands are on the inside. Let's go ahead and roll back into the sole of that right foot. And go ahead and just bring that right hand onto the outside of the right foot. And let's sink back. Lift up with the right toes. Nice big lift and exhale, forward fold. Exhale into your forward fold. And then bring that foot back forward. Tuck through the left toe and lift up with the left knee. And we're going to step all the way forward. Back into a forward fold at the front of the mat. Maybe grasp onto the elbows. Rock it out a little bit if that feels good. Let the head go, whatever feels nice for you this morning. Whatever feels good. And then we're going to rise all the way up. Breathe in. And exhale, palms to heart center. Let's flow through the opposite side. So lift the palms, lift the gaze, breathe it in. Exhale, forward fold. Palms to the shins, lengthen a little bit. Exhale, fold, little bend into the knees. Step back this time with the left, or excuse me. Right foot, keep that left foot forward. Sometimes I mirror and sometimes I don't, and that can get a little confusing. Go ahead and lift up. Lift on up. Take your time. Find that stability. Square off with the hips. Like to keep that back foot at kind of a 45-degree angle. Square off with the hips. Lift the hands up towards the sky. Breathe. Envision pulling that mat apart almost. Envision pulling it apart. Breathe it in. And bring the hands onto the hips or wherever you'd like to. We're going to step forward just a little bit. Step it on forward. Go ahead, really square the feet apart. Your choice, however you'd like the hands for our pyramid pose. Your choice, whatever feels good to you. Take a nice big breath in and then exhale. Find that pyramid pose. Let the head go. You can bring the hands onto the thigh if that feels better. Forward. Any shape with the hands. Just see what feels good for you. But get that nice big stretch. Then bring the hands down. We'll take a little bend into that left knee. I step back a little bit, scooch back with the right. I'm gonna flip my mat to allow for some cushion underneath the right knee. And sink down, nice and deep. Nice and deep. Oh, find a little lift. Breathe it in. Go ahead and breathe that in. Bring the hands down onto the inside of that left foot. Open up with the left foot if that feels okay. Get a nice big opener through the hip. Let the head go. And then go ahead, bring the foot back down. If you have it open, let's go ahead, bring the left hand onto the outside of the left foot and sink back. Lift through the toes, lengthen. Exhale, fold over that leg. And then gently make your way forward. Make your way forward. Let's go ahead and lift up with the left knee, and we're going to step back this time. Step back this time with the left foot, excuse me. Right knee lift, left foot, either way. Find your way into downward facing dog. You can bring the knees down. And then yogi's choice to close out our practice this morning. So if you're feeling like you would like to take a pigeon pose, you can easily get there from here and make sure that you make your way through both sides. Or maybe something else is calling to you this morning. Maybe a child's pose. Maybe you'd like to come onto the back body and do a hip opener there. Anything at all. So make your way there. If you're moving into pigeon, lifting through that leg, squaring off the hips and making your way down. I know that's a popular one, but wherever you'd like to be this morning, maybe a shoulder stand, maybe a plow pose even. Anything at all that feels good to you. Go ahead and make your way there. Just make sure that you do both sides of the body. And take as much time as you'd like. Maybe just bringing the feet together and letting yourself be right here in our Supta Baddha Konasana, our goddess pose. Anything at all. And then go ahead, when you're ready, take your time. Take as much time as you'd like. Make sure that you enjoy both sides of the body in whatever pose you're taking this morning. But when you're ready, we're all going to meet in our final posture this morning, our Savasana. So anything that feels good, go ahead and enjoy it. And then when you're ready, make your way into that ever so lovely pose of letting go. Opening up the palms to the sky. Letting the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Just letting yourself completely be. Just letting yourself completely go. A couple nice big breaths again, just checking in with the body and just noticing the difference in the body, feeling nice and open. Letting the breath just freely move through. Letting go. And making a note to be mindful today. To be mindful of the breath and the body, the soles of the feet, the toes and the heels, just staying grounded. Just staying right here in Savasana for several moments. Take your time, take as much time as you'd like this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, it is wonderful to see everybody. So much love to everyone. And yeah, stay safe out there, you guys. Be well. Namaste.